The name's much the same, but the car could hardly be more different. BMW's M135i gains xDrive four-wheel drive and a rather different outlook on life from the rear-driven M135i and M140i older generation models that preceded it. This car doesn't have the old-school track-style appeal those previous models had, but that's because it's matured a bit. If you have two, then you'd probably rather like it.
Previous high-performance petrol 1 Series variants gained something of a cult following thanks to their sonorous 3-litre straight-six engines. So if you happen to be an enthusiast shopping at the top end of the range, you might be disappointed to find that this time around the model badged M135i has a 4-cylinder 2-litre unit beneath the bonnet. Once you also factor in the switch to front-wheel drive, the result, as you might expect, is a very different confection, particularly as the power being developed has fallen significantly to 306 horsepower. BMW points out that the performance on offer, rest to 62 miles an hour in 4.8 seconds, en route to 155 miles an hour, exactly replicates that of the old 340 horsepower M140i model, and that the new M135i has the added advantage of standard xDrive four-wheel drive, launch control, and a newly developed mechanical Torsen limited slip differential to get its grip to the gravel. But it's a very different kind of car from before that now merely replicates what's on offer from obvious rivals like the Golf R and the Audi S3. There's not the same challenge in driving it that characterised the previous generation model, but then you might have expected that. The M135i differs from lesser 1 Series variants with its stiffer suspension setup and features a 10mm lower ride height with 2-stage adaptive dampers being optional. At the front, the subframe gains an extra couple of bracing bars for extra steering accuracy, and the electrically assisted rack features a quicker ratio of 14:1 as opposed to the standard car's 15:1. Finally, the brake master cylinder is bigger for better response and a more consistent brake pressure. As you might expect, the top M135i xDrive variant has its own unique M-Performance look. That gives this top version 18-inch M-Light alloy double-spoke wheels with a bicolour finish, through which you glimpse the blue calipers of the M Sport braking system. At the front, there's a bespoke look for the bumper styling and the frame of the kidney grille. At the rear, there's another bumper that's unique to this model, as is the M rear spoiler and the cerium grey finish for the two potent-looking exhaust tailpipes, which are separated by this ribbed black diffuser. Time to take a look inside. The M135i's interior is set apart by M seat belts, an M Sport steering wheel, M135i front door plates, an anthracite headliner, and M Sport seats with upholstery and trigon cloth and anthracite Alcantara. Plus, this flagship variant comes with the brand's desirable Live Cockpit Professional package with its 10.25-inch centre dash and instrument cluster screens, plus its Connected Package Professional additional media connectivity features. Otherwise, the recipe is as with any other 1 Series. This car now has the cabin feel of a larger, more luxurious product. Some of that's down to more appealing design, and some of it's down to cabin quality, soft-touch surfaces, and the solid feel of all the fixtures and fittings, matched on a plusher model like this one by things like contrast stitching and intricate extended lighting door panel strips. With this F40 series model, we're promised much more room in the rear, which is pretty much what you get. Two adults can comfortably fit on the back seat without having to squash in their knees, as was the case with the previous rear-driven model. Out back, there's now a decently sized 380-litre boot. Push forward the rear bench and 1,200 litres of space can be freed up. Okay, what about cost of ownership issues? Well, this auto-only petrol hot hatch variant manages up to 38.7 miles to the gallon and on 18-inch wheels up to 167 grams per kilometre of CO2 on the WLTP cycle, which puts it amongst the class leaders in this segment when it comes to efficiency, and means a BIK tax rate of 37%. Insurance is at a Group 36E rating. What you think of the M135i xDrive depends largely on the expectations you approach it with. It was clearly never intended to be a direct replacement for its six-cylinder rear-driven predecessor. But see it as what it is, the Munich maker's alternative to a Golf R, a Mercedes-AMG A35 or an Audi S3, and you'll get the point immediately. We're disappointed that BMW no longer offers something so refreshingly, radically different to cars like those, but we can understand why the business case for a reversion to a more established, uber-fast hot hatch formula was so compelling. For the first time, here's a really quick 1 Series model you could easily justify to the family. The M135i may no longer be a unique confection, but it's an undeniably more complete one.